Hello, everyone. This is criminal profiler Pat Brown. And in a week that's been pretty dreadful with all the horrifying news out of Israel and all the deaths of innocent people, here we got some good news finally. We do. And before I tell you what the good news is, please do subscribe to my channel and you can find out more about cases. I analyze a lot of cases. Check my playlist. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, that guy. You know that hat above my head? I like to put that on myself and put the cuffs on this guy. All right. TurtleBoy. If you don't know who TurtleBoy is, all right. I'm going to read you from this is the Boston Globe. He was arrested today, and this is what it says. The controversial blogger. Okay, I'm not going to call him a controversial blogger. I'm just going to call him a grifter because that's what he is. He's a grifter. And I'll tell you why. The controversial blogger behind the TurtleBoy website and his YouTube channel is facing witness intimidation charges and conspiracy charges related to his coverage of the murder case against Karen Reed, who is accused of striking her boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him to die outside of a Canton home in 2022. So, also, I've linked below my analysis of this case, whether I think Karen Reed is guilty of the crime based on the evidence, and whether this guy with his massive conspiracy theories, instead of what was a whole lot of evidence supports that, and it hasn't gone to court yet. She has her right to her day in court. But the prosecution has charged that she dropped him off at this house and backed over him and left him there to die in the snow. And there's, all I can say, a substantial amount of evidence to support the prosecution's case. Now, of course, she has the right to her day in court. But this guy, TurtleBoy, his real name is Aidan Kearny. All right. He has created what I would call a cottage industry. And this is something that's going on these days on the internet and in blogging. A cottage industry of just deciding to be on a particular side of a case. Let's say innocence. Most of the time, the bloggers who do this and the YouTubers who do this, who I call grifters, pick the innocent side. And then what they do is they spend day after day after day dredging up every piece of information they can find, every piece of gossip they can find. They create every kind of theory, which is based on what? Well, this dude is not a profiler or detective. He calls himself a journalist, but journalism's got a bad name these days, but he's going to make it 10 times worse. I mean, that guy's a slime ball. That's all he is slime ball. And he's decided, because you can see from his shirt, that he has taken the side of she's innocent and that her boyfriend went into the house and was murdered there by like more than a dozen people. Or, okay, maybe he was only murdered by one person and the dog attacked him because he knows that those damages to his body were done by dog bites. They were not dog bites, but he's going to say they are. And is he a pathologist? Is he anybody who has any credibility as far as knowing these things? No, he doesn't. Although he will claim up and down he does. So what he said, oh, this guy's gone into the house and he has cherry-picked information. So he's got this huge conspiracy that everybody in the house saw this man get murdered, dragged the guy out of the house, dumped him in the snowbank. And then everybody covered it up, including the ambulance drivers, the police, literally everybody in town covered up this case and blamed it on Karen Reed. No, none of that happened. Now, again, Karen Reed may not be guilty. Okay, it hasn't been proven she's guilty. There could be some other more reasonable explanation than he went into the house and everybody there had no problem with him being murdered. Okay, there sometimes are just, things happen and maybe it's not quite as we think, but it's not a huge conspiracy theory. So, but this guy isn't going to make money off of something minor. All right. So when I do my videos, I do most of the time just one video per case where as a criminal profiler, I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not like, oh my God, I got to prove that person guilty. I got to prove that person innocent. I'm just not not on one side or the other. I'd have no reason to be. So I'm doing an analysis. And also we see that a few other shows where somebody just gives an analysis. I may disagree with their analysis and they may disagree with mine, but they're not on a side and I'm not on a side. Okay. So when I do these shows, most of the time it's one time. Now, sometimes I'll come back when there's breaking news and so on and so forth, but I do not make a cottage industry out of it in my home every day, going through everything I can find, every piece of gossip and putting out every possibility. Oh, this could have happened. That could have happened. And then just building it, building it, building it. And it makes money. This guy, I can guarantee you, has probably made 5 times the salary I've made this year, because he's got a band of people like a cult running behind him going, oh, yes, she's innocent. She's innocent. Oh, look. It's literally like somebody who is the leader of a cult. And we have other grifters on the channel who do the same thing, because they know that if they go for this, where they push and push and push, and everything is a conspiracy, the police are lying, the prosecution is lying, everybody's lying. This is where people go down the rabbit hole, and the rabbit hole gives you so much material, so much, because you can literally you can find anything at the bottom of that rabbit hole and every other little tunnel. You can find something, throw it out there. You get your people who follow you to throw out crap too. And instead of saying, it probably is not any kind of real evidence. You don't say that if you're a grifter. You go, well, you might have a point. And then you bring more people in. So everybody's allowed to get in on the conspiracy. And this makes a fortune in money. Now, do they have the right to express their opinions on the internet? Well, I just had a woman recently, has a channel, a small channel, and that's okay. You can have a small channel and be perfectly legit. But she saw one of my other videos where I thought the person was guilty and she thinks they're innocent. So she's like, hey, you have to come to my channel and watch all my stuff. I'm like, look, I really don't have 10 hours to spend on your channel going through all your crap. What's your point? And then she got very angry with me. And I said, look, it's free speech. You can have a channel. You can say what you want, but I'm not required to go over there and spend my time there, because I've already seen that one of your other cases is free Stephen Avery from making a murderer. So I already know you're an idiot. So I'm not going to waste my time. Now, maybe you're right about this case, but I'm not going to waste my time because you already said free Stephen Avery. No, if you think he's innocent, I have questions about how you cherry pick your information. He cherry picks information. A lot of these grifters cherry pick information. And then what they do, it's hard to really explain, but they cleverly, they're not stupid people as far as knowing how to get people involved. They link things together in ways that look really good if you don't understand crime. If you don't understand crime scene analysis, you go, they might have a point. But if you actually understand crime scene analysis, you go, no. That's not the way things work. I don't know how many times on my channel I've said this. It's not the way things work, or it's not the way criminals do things. And what you're doing is you're creating a scenario that is not realistic in normal life or in even criminal life. But that's how you bring people in, because they don't know that you're not correct, or it's not possible, or it's not likely or probable, or what are those things. So you get this guy here, Mr. Grifter and a half. After I put my Karen Reed analysis up, he came in with the big attack. I blocked him, of course. I don't waste my time with people who come into my channel and attack me. I didn't go to his channel and say anything, but he's in my channel. And a lot of people come to my channel after they disagree with me and attack me on my own channel, and I just block everybody. But never have I gone to anybody else's channel to say anything negative. It's just, it's not decent behavior. But he did. And then he sent his minions after me, which is also something that happens with grifters. Once a grifter is ignored, they try to get all their people to roll over and attack you because they are no longer able to get onto your channel and put up nasty comments. So, of course, you have to spend a lot of time, block. Anyway, he sent his minions. But there are so many people who think he is leading the fight to save Karen Reed. And he's been on some legitimate channels, and I tell those legitimate channels, why would you put this guy on your channel? If you're legitimate, get professionals on your channel. Get people that you have confidence in. Don't put this can't say that, can I? Psychologist. No, anyway, let me read what he's been charged with. Anyway, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So glad they finally did something about him. What has happened here? All right. Kearny has extensively covered Reed's prosecution and has accused investigators of framing her, at times appearing on social media in a hoodie that says "Free Karen Reed." Well, he doesn't just at times appear; he always appears on social media, constantly, in and day out. He's leading the charge to prove she's innocent and to say everybody in Boston is a crook. Was it Boston? As Norfolk? I don't know. I'm not from Massachusetts. On Tuesday, Kearny had criticized Norfolk District Attorney Michael Morrissey, whose office is prosecuting Reed, and Canton Police Chief, I guess it's Canton, really, we're looking at, Canton Police Chief Helena Rafferty, whose department investigated the case with state police, for describing his, quote, peaceful protest as witness intimidation. Michael Morrissey and Helen Rafferty are the two highest-ranking law enforcement officials in Canton, Kearny wrote on Twitter, X. Both have made public statements calling my peaceful protest illegal, as illegal witness intimidation, and demanded that I stop. Now, two judges have made it clear I was right, and they were wrong. Sad when an award-winning journalist, I'm sorry. If anybody gave you awards, they're idiots too. All right, award-winning journalists. And I want to point this one thing out. Sometimes people say, when you're on YouTube, you shouldn't attack other YouTubers. And I get it. Generally speaking, I try not to speak too negatively about other YouTubers, and I don't unless I think they're grifters or something really upsets me, because we all have our different ways, we all have our different opinions, and I think, not everybody should just watch my channel. They should go to other channels and also learn things and maybe, compare. That's cool. But when we don't speak out against grifters, when we let them run over YouTube, misleading people, and we don't say anything, I think that's wrong. I think at some point when you have a grifter to this level, somebody has to speak up. And you know what? Very few YouTubers do. And do you know why? Because it's not pleasant. When I spoke up against him, it wasn't nice. I have been, I may say one thing on my own channel, not their channel. One time on my channel, I might say I disagree with them, and I think I'm concerned about what they're doing out there. I'm concerned about the information they're sharing. I say that lasts about a minute, and then I get massive attacks. So is it worth that? And that's what a lot of YouTubers say. I'm just going to stay quiet because I don't want people hating on me. And so people don't say anything. So this guy gets away with this constantly. But finally, law enforcement has said enough is enough. And so he said, sad when an award-winning journalist understands the law better. No, you do not. You don't understand profiling. You do not understand crime scene analysis. You do not understand the law. What you understand is how to make money off of suckers. That's what you understand. Then it goes on. So anyway, Morrissey took a unusual step of releasing a video statement condemning what he says as all absolutely baseless harassment and vilification of witnesses. He has harassed and vilified witnesses. I mean, over and over and over again without any substantial evidence at all. Okay, he didn't just do one video, his opinion. He is out every day trying to put people in a place which makes them look guilty when there's no evidence to prove that. Morrissey says, it should be an outrage to any decent person. Absolutely. And all of you people following this guy, dump him. Be a decent person, dump him. And it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. And oh my goodness, does he like innuendo? And a lot of these grifters do that. They'll say, oh, and then this person did this and that, and there's no proof. It's just gossip. And if you base your channel on mostly gossip, you're a grifter channel. False narratives are not evidence. Correct. You can have one opinion about a theory. I'm okay with that. Everybody has an opinion. But when you develop narrative after narrative after narrative based on stuff that isn't actually evidence or twisted evidence because you have no skills, this is nothing. It's just a false narrative. It's very correct. These people were not part of a conspiracy. I totally agree. There's no conspiracy going on in the House. There's no conspiracy going on in the police department. All the people in town are not conspiring to put her away at all. I mean, it's ridiculous. And they have not engaged in any cover-up. To have them accused of murder, that's the family, is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong. They're witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them. So, anyway, but her lawyers have argued there was a cover-up between local and state police investigating the case, and that O'Keefe was beaten in the basement of the apartment of the house after he was dropped off there, and that the family dog, a German Shepherd, attacked him and injured his right arm. But that's the lawyer. Okay, that's her attorney. As much as I dislike attorneys being slime bags, and building any kind of false narrative, they're legally allowed to do that. That's their case, and it's hard to keep them from doing that. I also believe that they should not be able to go in public media. I think it should be a gag order on that so that they can present their case in court, prosecution can present their case in court and leave it at that, not spread that on the internet. And of course, this is what he's doing. He's spreading all of this on the internet. And I don't know if the defense attorneys are involved in any way with his pushing this on the internet, or whether they're just going, that's a shame. Okay, so let's see, anything more here? Just want to see if there's anything left here. This is Morrissey also says, I'm asking the Canton community and everyone who feels invested in this case to hear all of the actual evidence at trial before assigning guilt to people who have done nothing wrong. And certainly before taking it upon yourself to harass citizens who evidence shows have done nothing in this matter but come forward and bear witness. So we're going to see what happens with the charges against TurtleBoy. But I hope the charges are strong enough that he can go crawl back in his little naughty shell and never come back out again. My guess is he's the kind that will never, ever shut up. He'll find something else. Once he squeezes out of something with some kind of whatever, he's going to squeeze out some community service. Just the kind of guy we want doing community service. He'll be back out playing his game. But yeah, I was happy to see him arrested. I'm happy to see him called out at least. And I just hope more people stop paying attention to this guy. Really, he's not worth paying attention to. And you're giving him too much credit. You're giving him too much money. And, he's a snake oil salesman. Don't fall for it. Okay, that's just my thoughts for today. I was just happy to have some good news in this very bad news week. And in my opinion, that's good news. We need to stop people like him. Thank you. Thank you, authorities up there. I'm behind you 100%. Anyway, that's it. Again, if you're new to the channel, please do like, please do subscribe, check my playlist, and click on the link below where I'm analyzing the case of Karen Read so that, you can see where I'm coming from. And see you next time. Hopefully. Bye.